In a story, the subject is what everything is about. Usually, the subject is just one word, like love or revenge. A story's theme then builds off of that subject. A theme is often a big idea that represents the meaning behind a work, or what the creator is trying to tell us, the audience, about the subject. Usually, the theme is a concept so broad and big picture that it can feel relatable to whoever is experiencing the story. So, for example, if a story's subject is revenge, the theme could be, "Revenge won't make you feel better." Now, when it comes to video games, a lot of them don't have a theme or even a subject. Games are kind of unique as a medium in that they don't always have to tell a story to be loved. Personally, I like to think of it as a strength of the medium. Anyway, on the flip side, some games are story-rich and go through a lot of effort to tell their stories. I think Fallout New Vegas is one such game. And if we suppose the subject of New Vegas is post-apocalypse, then the theme might be If we think about narrative themes and Fallout New Vegas together, it's hard not to immediately think about Dead Money, the first of the game's 4 pieces of DLC. Now, Dead Money carried a very clear and very strong theme throughout.
Finding it, though, that's not the hard part.
Dead Money is very eager to remind you at every turn what its theme is. All of the characters are struggling with letting go in some way or another. Living characters are brought to the Sierra Madre because they couldn't let go, and dead characters died because they couldn't let go. Even the Sierra Madre itself physically embodies the theme. Everything feels almost stuck in time, from the ghostly holograms of Starlit Vera keys to what the game literally refers to as the ghost people who haunt the villa. My own favorite example of letting go in Dead Money is at the very end, when you're trapped inside the casino vault with the gold bars. They're very high-valued items, but they weigh a ton. You're told that you'll never be able to re-enter the vault to get whatever you leave behind. Now, most characters are lucky to make off with just a few of those gold bars, and it's literally impossible to carry all 37 of them without using console commands or mods or something similar. In fact, most people will prefer to take other items besides the gold bars. But what happens next, inside that vault, is that often pined-over experience, when gameplay and mechanics are all that's needed to convey the exposition of story and narrative. Courier 6 and the player cannot leave the vault without letting go. Dead Money wears its theme on its sleeve. I think that's probably just the nature of narrative themes. Sometimes they're made very obvious, and other times they're very subtle, and the audience has to draw their own, sometimes very different conclusions on the theme. I think both routes can be very effective. Now, I don't think Dead Money is the only place in the game that letting go comes up. Actually, I think it's everywhere. Thanks to Courier 6 being the ultimate catalyst for change in the Mojave wasteland, a lot of problems are framed as moving on from or letting go of the past. The conflict between the New California Republic, Caesar's Legion, and Robert House ultimately decides which factions let go of their ambitions and which ones are allowed to fulfill their ambitions. Each of the major factions also views their competitors as holding on to outdated and flawed ideas. Even our protagonist, Courier 6, begins the game by letting go of nearly everything. Their former life, not even a distant memory, but almost entirely forgotten. The core game and Dead Money aren't the only places where we see this theme at play. It continues through each DLC. In Honest Hearts, the Dead Horses and Sorrow's tribes wrestle with the idea of letting go of the pristine land of Zion Canyon. At the end, you have to choose whether or not to evacuate the entire area. In Old World Blues, the think tank scientists have all let go of parts of their memories. The big reveal at the end surrounding Dr. Mobius only happens thanks to him letting go of his own memories. It's played for laughs, but Courier 6 also lets go of parts of their physical form during the campaign. And, of course, in Lonesome Road, Ulysses cannot let go of the history of the old world and Courier 6's role in obliterating the divide. And now, I'd like to credit an old post I dug up about a year ago during my last playthrough of the game. Frankly, this is something I didn't even realize myself until I saw it spelled out. Anyway, I found this when I was looking around for other folks talking about their takes on the game's theme and Caesar's Hegelian dialectics talk. As of this video, it's an over 4-year-old post by Reddit user Subby, and that's based on a similar post they made 5 years ago, and some input from another user, Chaos ER. I'll have a link to it in the description if you want to read it for yourself, and you should. But the gist of it is that the theme of letting go is also applicable to each of the companions from the core game as well. Veronica can't let go of the Brotherhood of Steel, Boone is stuck on his wife, Raoul still thinks about his own life before the Great War, Lily tries to cope with the fading memories of her family and her own fading sanity. Arcade struggles with his relationship with the Enclave and his family. Cass can't shake her old trade caravan. Eddie has to let go of some technical information, and Rex literally has to let go of his old brain. Like I said, it's a pretty interesting read. They do cover some ground we've already touched on, but I still think it's worth looking at if you're interested. Anyway, I think that having everything, side content, DLC, companion arcs, all of it come back to this central theme, I think it makes the game's size and scope a strength. Well, more so than just increasing your time played to money spent ratio. But different side quests, and certainly each DLC, could have easily had their own individual theme. But I love how New Vegas, keeping focus like this, helps us, the player, explore that one singular theme all the better. Is it worth letting go? Is it right? The circumstances are always different and the answer never the same. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but always 100 conditionals in between. And always, you catch yourself coming back to that core theme. The letting go of the past is difficult. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's meant to be both a celebration of the game and a brief look at one of my own personal reasons for enjoying the game. I'm trying hard to keep these on the shorter side so they're a bit more approachable. Now, of course, it must be said that not all games need to have a central narrative theme as a basis for storytelling. As we touched on, there's plenty that just don't need it. Even in the case of New Vegas, you may have read the theme differently from me. Subby's post also talks about moving on, or maybe you got something really different out of it. At the end of the day, I think that's the fun part when it comes to themes. People can come away with many different meanings. Anyway, if you did have fun with this video, I hope you'll also check out the other 5 parts of this Why I Love Fallout New Vegas mini-series that I'm doing. I've also got a fully completed playthrough of New Vegas on Very Hard, if you're into those sorts of playthrough videos. And even if none of those things interest you, thank you very much for looking into this video. Please, take care of each other.